Welcome back to the gun dungeon, guys. Loading up more of these 34 magnums here, just the little light plinkers. I'm gonna have to switch back and load some more 357 SIG again here soon, which thankfully I had a donation of 357 SIG brass from JJ Griffin, so a little shout out. Thank you for that. Appreciate the brass. Sent them to me free of charge. Wouldn't let me pay for shipping or nothing. So that's a dandy feller right there. Appreciate you, buddy. But be some more brass to load up some 357 SIG. I got to get a good stock of these 34s first, though. These are just so fun to shoot. Just an old, big old, classic, chunky, gets the job done round. Kind of like, I think that's 44 special. Kind of like the topic of today's video, and that is going to be the old granddad 30-06, and whether it is still the king, baby. And what I mean by that, I'm not necessarily talking about the king of everything, because we know there are applications where I wouldn't want a 30-06, like if I was going into Desert Storm or something like that. 30-06 probably not going to be my rifle cartridge of choosing. I'm not saying it couldn't do it. Oh, we got a problem here. What's going on? Wow. Look at this. I don't know what case is in here. Have you ever seen this before? Oh, come on now. Look at that. There's a case inside there. It's 44 Magnum. And there's the base of it. Clearly, it stops about right here. But that is wedged in there tight. And I don't know what could be in there that friggin' tight. It's obviously a semi-automatic cartridge. I don't know what would 40 fit in there that tight? I might have to try one here in a little bit. Let's set that over there out the way, because I'm going to experiment with that. Follow my Instagram if you're curious what happens with that, because I'm gonna be doing some exploring, and I'll probably post the results there. But anyway, like I was saying, not saying 30-06 couldn't get the job done in a battle scenario, because we know from World War II that it can. But that was also a long time ago. There are much better options for that today. What I mean is 30-06 and just a regular old bolt action hunting rifle scenario. What beats 30-06? Man, we just done that again. And I shoved my decapping pin up there this time. What is going on here? I'm gonna have to fix that decapping pin. Be right back. All right, we're back in action now. Apologize. I'm riding the struggle bus today. Normally the 44 is just smooth, roll right along, no issues, but Murphy is showing up today, fellas. Anyways, standard old bolt action hunting rifle. That's what we're talking about today. Is the 30-06 still the king? And honestly, I would say in most applications with most people in most areas, most hunters, it absolutely 100% will do everything that you need it to do. And that's my honest opinion. Now, there may be some applications out west where you're shooting friggin' 2 miles at a deer or something. I don't think that's necessary. I think you could probably get a little closer. You could definitely get within 30-06 ranges, in my opinion. But, if you want to do that, that's go right ahead. More power to you. But I think people just get bored with the same stuff. Like, I think that's why we have new rounds that come out. That's why, if you look at the ballistics of 30-06, the old 100-and-some-year-old round, and compare it to, say, 300 PRC or even 300 Win Mag, you don't really get a whole lot of huge differences between them that within standard hunting applications is going to make a difference. Now, granted, you go to big game, grizzly, something like that. Will 30-06 get it done? Yeah, I think a 200 grain partition in a 30-06 is going to kill a moose. It's going to kill a grizzly bear. Do you want a little bit more for maybe safety factor? Maybe. Sure, go ahead. Get you a 300 Win Mag for something like that. But in all other applications, I don't know what 30-06 can't do. I mean, a 180 grain bullet from a 30-06 will take about anything in North America. And it'll do it well. It'll do it at range. It does really well. But like I said, you compare the ballistics, there's not a whole lot of difference. Now, when you're talking like long range competition shooters, sure, that little bit of difference probably makes enough difference to be a thing. But typically, I mean, most of those guys are hand loading their stuff. They're not afraid of Wildcat cartridges anyways. So, I mean, commercially, they sell new rounds because people get bored. And if everybody had 30-06, it would be a boring place. But it is still, in my opinion, one of the most versatile cartridges that has the ability to go from light bullets screaming to heavy bullets that's going to get the job done on thick hide, bone, big old mean teeth gnashing animals. And I don't know how anybody could argue that it won't. Now, are new rounds fun? Absolutely. I love shooting the weird stuff. Like, I like deer hunting with stuff that nobody else deer hunts with. Like 6.5 Carcano, like just odd stuff, just because it's fun. The 30-06 is so good at killing whitetail that it is boring. It is bang, flop, now I gotta clean it. And honestly, I've had that issue before where the deer hunting got boring, so I started changing up what I was hunting with, whether it be something like a SKS or just something strange, just to add that excitement factor and add that challenge back to it. Because with a 30-06 and a 3x9 optic sitting there in my lap, and most of my shots are under 150 yards anyways, it was too easy. And it was just bang, all right, now I gotta clean it. And I didn't like that I was getting to that point, so I started changing stuff up and I made it more fun again. But life is a circle. You come back and then you appreciate, you have a couple 100-yard tracks through the bars, cutting yourself up and having to cross a ball bore fence here and there. Yeah, I might have appreciated that 180 grain interlock bullet going at 2,900 feet a second, just crashing this deer down and not taking another step. You might appreciate that after you make your full circle. But, you know, I really, and even 308's excellent too, but you got people that just get bored with that too. Hence, here comes 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, 6.5 Creedmoor better at super long ranges? Probably. A little ballistic coefficient increase there. Got an advantage with that. So that's where, and it was kind of made for target shooters. But hunters have jumped all over the 6.5 Creedmoor bandwagon because they got bored with 308. Let's just be honest with you. That's what happened. It's an excuse to buy a new rifle. And is it a good one? Sure. Any excuse to buy a new gun is a good excuse. But it's just people getting bored with stuff. The old rounds, 30-06, 30-30, 45 ACP, they still do great. And they're still probably kings of their class. But we're always going to have new stuff. And everybody's going to always want new stuff. But let's hear your thoughts on the old granddad 30-06 in the comments below. This should be a good one. Can't wait to see what y'all have to say. Till next time, guys, stay tuned.